Beneath the Waves, celebrating the ocean through pictures, poems, and stories. A National Geographic book illustrated by many photographs and edited by Stephanie Warren-Drimmer. From National Geographic Kids comes a book featuring the many inhabitants of the ocean that Jacques Cousteau loved. Bottlenose dolphins and great white sharks that can be found closest to the surface. We sometimes even see them from land. Lanternfish that use bioluminescence, they glow, to find their prey, defend themselves, and navigate in what is known as the twilight zone, where sunlight is so weak it's invisible to the human eye. And weird animals who live in the midnight zone, the region of the sea below 3,300 feet, surviving in complete darkness in the most unexplored place on our planet. They're all here, along with facts about how ocean creatures migrate, how seabirds crossing the ocean undertake some of the longest migrations on Earth, and the many ways humans have impacted the sea. Pick and choose your favorite chapters to read, or read it cover to cover. Either way, this book has something in it you'll love. The Fantastic Undersea Life of Jacques Cousteau, a children's biography by Dan Yaccarino. Our summer reading theme this year is Oceans of Possibilities. And if you had to name just one person who revealed the possibilities of the oceans to people on land, it would be Jacques Cousteau. Jacques discovered as a boy that he loved the water. When he was injured in a car accident as a young man, he swam every day in the Mediterranean to regain his strength. A friend gave Jacques a pair of goggles so he could see underwater, a gift, he said, that changed his life forever. With an engineer friend, Cousteau created the aqualung, the first machine to allow divers to breathe underwater for long periods of time. What Jacques could now see beneath the ocean was so amazing he wanted to share it with everyone else. He found ways to film underwater and shot a full-length feature film about the marvels beneath the sea. He assembled a research team that explored the world around him on the boat Calypso, and developed even better diving equipment and cameras. He became a defender of ocean ecology. You want to read even more about this explorer's fantastic life. Odd and the Frost Giants by Neil Gaiman. Odd is, well, an unlucky boy. He has a crippled leg and isn't considered much good for anything by his stepfather and his stepbrothers. Who would imagine that he would lead 3 Norse gods against terrible giants planning to impose permanent winter on the land? But so it develops in this tale spun by Neil Gaiman. Odd's fortunes change when he decides to leave his village and spend the night in his father's old woodcutter's hut. Next morning, he encounters 3 animals, a fox, an eagle, and a bear that's gotten its paw trapped in a honey tree. Odd frees the bear, and to his surprise, his companions lead him back to the hut. When he discovers that these animals are Loki, Thor, and Odin, tricked by the frost giants into giving away the hammer of Thor and transformed into animal shape, Odd knows he has become part of an adventure bigger than anything he could have imagined. Mythology and coming of age combine in this story based on Norse myth. Peter Lee's Notes from the Field by Angela Ahn. Peter Lee is hooked on dinosaurs. His goal is to become a paleontologist and study dinos for a living, go on digs, discover new fossils. His other goal is to get genius grade sister LB off his back and give him some breathing space. She's stiff competition because she's gifted, and their parents enroll her in all kinds of enrichment activities. Even though her grandparents, Haji and Hami, think their grandchild should have some fun like other kids. But now school's out for the year and Peter has something to look forward to, a family road trip to a dino museum and the chance to participate in a real dig as a junior paleontologist. His dream come true turns out very differently from what he expected. Will Peter give up his ambition for science? Or can he put his skills of observation to work in a new way to try to figure out why his beloved grandmother is becoming so strange in her behavior? Peter Lee's Notes from the Field is written like a journal of both scientific and personal observations gathered in the home of a loving family. No Vacancy by Zipporah Cohen. Miriam's dream doesn't include moving from Manhattan to a small town in upstate New York. Her parents aren't thrilled with the idea either, but it seems like when Miriam's dad loses his job, the idea of buying a rundown motel and trying to make a business of it is an option. Everyone is in for a lot of work. The family gets help from Uncle Morty, a sympathetic housekeeper named Maria, and the owner of the diner next door who is famous for her grape pies. Miriam makes friends with the neighbor's granddaughter, Kate, and everyone keeps an eye on Miriam's little brother, Sammy, who happily gets into everything. But when, in spite of all their hard work, the Jewel Motel Motor Inn is threatened with bankruptcy, Miriam and Kate decide that only a miracle will save it. A Jewish Catholic miracle of their own creation. But what constitutes a miracle? No Vacancy is a story about acknowledging prejudices, honoring differences, and coming together as a community.